But if you're ever in an old building and you see a button for a floor that shouldn't exist, don't press it. Let me tell you what happened to someone who did. In an old apartment building downtown, there's an elevator that's over 60 years old. Original brass panel, mechanical buttons, the kind that click when you press them instead of lighting up silently like modern ones. It works fine, goes up, goes down, nothing strange about it, except for one small detail. Inside, there's a button for floor 13, but the building only has 12 floors. Most residents never even notice it. It's tucked at the bottom of the panel, below floor 1, easy to miss unless you're really looking. But one night, a delivery driver named Karim did. Karim had been doing night deliveries for almost a year. He knew this building well, he'd been in and out of it dozens of times. But that night was different from the start. The lobby was empty, quieter than usual. The night doorman wasn't at his desk, and the elevator, when it arrived, took almost 30 seconds longer than it normally did. Karim was working late, delivering a package to the 9th floor. While waiting for the elevator, he noticed the extra button, slightly worn out compared to the others, like it had been pressed thousands of times over the years. The paint around the number was almost completely rubbed away. Out of curiosity more than anything else, he pressed it. Nothing happened at first. The doors closed normally. But instead of moving up, it felt like the elevator was going down. Deeper than it should have been able to for a building with no listed basement level beyond parking. The numbers above the door didn't change. They just showed a blank red light flickering slightly every few seconds. Karim checked his phone. No signal. He told himself it was just the elevator shaft blocking reception, but something about the silence in that small metal box felt heavier than usual. After almost 2 full minutes, far longer than any elevator ride should take, the doors opened. It wasn't floor 13. It was a hallway dimly lit by flickering fluorescent lights, with the exact same layout as the building's actual floors, the same carpet pattern, the same wall color. But completely empty. No doors, no apartment numbers, no fire exit signs. Just endless identical hallway, stretching further than physically possible for a building that size. Karim was working late, delivering a package to the 9th floor. While waiting for the elevator, he noticed the extra button, slightly worn out compared to the others, like it had been pressed thousands of times over the years. The paint around the number was almost completely rubbed away. Out of curiosity more than anything else, he pressed it. Nothing happened at first. The doors closed normally, but instead of moving up, it felt like the elevator was going down, deeper than it should have been able to, for a building with no listed basement level beyond parking. The numbers above the door didn't change. They just showed a blank red light, flickering slightly every few seconds. Karim stood frozen for a moment, package still in his hands, staring down that impossible corridor. Every instinct told him this wasn't a floor that belonged in any building. He stepped back into the elevator immediately and pressed the button for the lobby again and again, but the doors wouldn't close. He tried the door close button. Nothing. He tried the alarm button. Nothing happened, not even a sound. That's when he noticed something at the far end of the hallway. A shape, still, At first, like a shadow cast by nothing. Then it moved. Short pause for suspense. 2-second silence. It wasn't walking exactly. It was more like it was gliding closer, staying just at the edge of the flickering light. Never fully visible. Kareem's hands were shaking as he pressed every button on the panel at once. The elevator doors, which hadn't responded to anything for almost a full minute, suddenly jolted and began sliding shut. Just as they closed, he heard it. Not footsteps this time, but a voice. Low, distorted, like it was being spoken through old static. It said his name. The elevator moved, this time upward, fast, faster than any elevator should physically be able to travel. Kareem's ears popped from the pressure. The lights inside the cabin flickered rapidly, on and off, on and off. When it finally stopped, the doors opened to the lobby. Bright, normal, the night doorman back at his desk like nothing had ever happened. Kareem didn't say a word. He walked straight out of the building, leaving the package undelivered, and didn't look back. Weeks later, still shaken by what happened, Kareem told a friend who worked as a building maintenance technician. He expected to be laughed at. Instead, his friend went pale. According to every blueprint on file with the city, this building was constructed in the 1960s with exactly 12 floors. No basement beyond parking, no hidden level, nothing unaccounted for in any official document. And yet the extra button had been there since the building opened, listed in even the very first elevator maintenance log, decades before Kareem was even born. No technician who ever serviced that elevator could explain why the button was installed or what it was originally meant to connect to. Several maintenance workers over the years had simply refused to work on that particular elevator car after their first service call. To this day, the elevator still works fine. The button is still there, worn down just a little more than it used to be. And every once in a while, late at night, residents say they can hear it moving on its own, humming quietly between floors when no one called it at all. If you enjoyed this story, help me out with a like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments. Would you have pressed the button, or